interesting day. It was full of interesting presentations and discussions. We had the chance to have eminent presenters that talked about funding opportunities and also the opportunities within the Cambridge University and the African program. And also we had a presentation from the African Academy of Science staff about opportunities from the academy, and also about the communication strategy, and also the future of science publishing, and also building research careers outside academia. So I will let Marian ask you about your thinking and what do you think about the activities of the day.
Okay, so time for reflections. I would like you to turn to the person sitting next to you. So let's form groups of three people. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Discuss what you talked about during the time you had your eyes closed, and come up with one word. Come up with one word that describes what happened today.
So number 3.
Come up with one word.
Take that.
For the day. The word I heard quite a lot, although this is obviously biased, is inspired. Quite a lot of people.
Time up. One word.
Energized.
I got energized from everyone I think today. Energized.
There are prizes at stake.
Hey.
One word, okay, Augustina, one word. Challenge. Okay.
Oh. I didn't hear.
Another one word. Talent. Challenge, okay.
We mentioned fulfilling, and then we mentioned inspired.
So which one are you presenting for the contest? Yes, good one.
Energized.
Energized, that's your contest word.
Yeah.
Can we have a third and that's it? The rest of it you can write on the sticker notes and place them. Perspective. Okay. So challenge, energize, and perspective. Okay.
Need sticker notes?
All of us, which word are we voting for? One word, that wins word of the day. We go with challenge, hands up. Challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going for challenge. Energize.
Informative.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for energized. Perspective.
Just one.
This one, just one.
Only one hand up. One hand up.
All these three is one vote.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the word of the day is energized.
What do we mean?
Exercise we do is a phrase of 2 words. So a phrase of 2 words, we take 3 contest words. You could go like inspirational delivery. That's my phrase of 2 words. Can we have 3 more from you?
You won.
It's an example for you to take a cue from. So please, let's have 1. 2
Another
words.
group or not group?
Yes, from the group.
Phrase,
Yeah.
a 2-word phrase.
Sifa. Okay, so Sifa we
Informative, transformative.
I
no,
think
2
what
words
that's
joined
coming
together,
up.
that still makes sense. A phrase. Can we have a second? I don't know. But I don't know if. Sorry. Excellently.
Informative, transformative.
Excellently beautiful. Informative, transformative, it's not a phrase, it's 2 distinct words, right? Can you put the 2 together, string them together to give us a phrase?
Exit bubble.
Yeah, I like that. That also goes to Alan's presentation.
Take that picture, beautiful.
Oh, that picture. Oh, bigger picture was good. Bigger picture is better. Okay.
We're taking only 3, I'm sorry. The rest take them on the road. So let's vote. See far, excellently beautiful, bigger picture. Which one are we voting for? See far, hands up. See far, hands up, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Excellently beautiful.
What?
Hands up.
I don't know what that is.
One person.
It's just
Bigger picture.
what are we reading?
We're going for a sentence that describes what happened today. A sentence. A sentence.
Of how many
Yes.
words?
We are fantastically engaged.
Wow. We are fantastically engaged.
This is a sentence.
Another phrase.
When science is well done, it will change the world.
When science is
Well done. It will change the world.
change the world.
The last one. Can you repeat again?
We are inspired for the future of Africa.
I'm suggesting you say inspired to move you are there.
Oh, you can
We are fantastically what engaged? Was that the first submission?
Intellectually honest.
Okay, so how many will vote for that? We are fantastically engaged.
I'll change their mind.
When science is well done, it will change the world. Let's see, hands up. When science is well done, it will change the world.
Something about
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And the last one, we are inspired for the future of Africa. So our winners for one word of the day is energized, and the group members should come for the prize. A hand of applause.
Yes.
I think girls distribute the group of charts if you have more ideas.
Congratulations.
2-word phrase of the day goes to bigger picture. A hand of applause. Sentence of the day goes to we are inspired for the future of Africa. And then who can tell me the 3 things we have in common?
Oh, I was trying to look through the booklet. You are free. No. You are both affiliates. You are both African.
Academy, yes.
You are both African.
That's true, but I don't have that on my paper.
That's true. You're members of Global Young Academy. You are affiliates. And you are both in the same field.
Yes, and we all do remediation. So I think you were in the spirit when you put us together. Thank you for your time.
So we won again. We have won again. Can I donate it? All 4 of us together, then now we are coming. I can donate. Why don't you donate? Yeah. And thank you. That was fantastic. Oh, yeah, that was fun. Judy is fantastically engaged. I'm so inspired. I've seen all your names. You follow each other, yeah.
I'm finding it so difficult to wind up. Everybody, this has just been a fantastic 3 days. Hello. Judy speaking. Are we fantastically engaged? Yes. Are we winning for Africa?
Yes.
And is the future going to be different?
Yes.
And it's all in your hands. This has been a fantastic 3 days. We have heard from people who have gone ahead of us. We were so delighted to start the beginning of this session with a wonderful rendition of the history of science in Africa from Professor Abegaz, the visionary for this affiliate program. We've heard from those who've carried it forth, Kevin, and the efforts that have been put into getting you together. We've heard from each other. We've got to know each other. Really, when you work with people, one always says it's always best to work with somebody who you know, somebody who you've seen, somebody who you've touched and enjoyed some laughter with. So one big element in this thing that has been really stood out is that there's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of laughs. But in between those laughs, there's been a lot of serious discussions about what it is that we have been put to do on this earth, really. So it's like a mission. It's like a mission. There's a step that we need to go beyond where we felt we were at the beginning. We've come here as scientists, and the continent has invested a lot in each one of us here. A lot. Your parents have invested a lot, if you go back. All of us understand the story that Alan Pampa spoke to us about, where you began with nothing, maybe not you directly, if you're fortunate enough to have had a good wooden spoon in your mouth when you grew up. But if not you, you have a cousin whose situation is the same. You have an aunt and uncle who's struggling to bring their children through school. And the opportunities were not there. But we know that Africa is changing. We've also had those inspirational talks where we've seen places that are opening up. And these are the places where we entrust you to fill. You have the support of the Academy. We are learning as we go along. But we're learning because this is a different model. This is a different model for Africa where we are all working together as one continent. I always say that as a continent, we are out here fighting for our lives. So if you think of your position in there, we're fighting to make sure that we are equipped with the science that has been built in this continent to tackle the challenges of the future. We've talked about them in the framework of the SDGs, but we all recognize that there are other challenges as well, at the personal level, but in the bigger picture level. We say that's a cliche, but there is a much larger picture outside the frame that we look at. So how do we learn to work together? This has been a really important discussion. The problems that we tackle must be approached in a multidisciplinary way. They must be approached by social scientists, the medical field, by people who are looking at energy, what are the priorities for Africa. So let's approach them in that way. Putting people together, working with your friends. It's always best to work with your friends, and your friends are here. We find that we are from so many different backgrounds, different age groups, but when it comes to discussions about our country, we are at all the same level. So take advantage of the experience that you have from each other, advantage from the experience that you have from those who might not even be in science, and the experience of the fact that you've been somewhere else. We're all very exposed. When you read, when you visit other countries, when you go abroad or come back, that increases your exposure and your knowledge and your ability to contribute. But one thing that I always say, and it's wonderful when you've been abroad, there's always that feeling when you're on the soil in Africa. You take off your shoes and you step in the wet grass, you smell the rain on the grass, you go home, you find that you can actually smell the soil. The bananas have marks, you know, the tomatoes you raise to your nose and you smell it, and there's absolutely nothing like being at home in Africa. So all of you, I know, you've traveled abroad and come back, you're here because your heart is in Africa. So let's build that heart. Let's build a heart so that we'll have that resilient future. So that when we're talking about attaining the SDGs, we are attaining them for our children, and we're going to leave this planet as a better place. So I just want to say a really big thank you, because for me this has been an experience of growth. And let me tell you, as an older person, opportunities for growth are wonderful. They're rare and far between. But here, this has been that opportunity for me. So on a personal level, I thank you. And for you, just for making it so special. I think it's just been amazing. I want to also take an opportunity to thank the AFOX team over here. You know that they have sponsored us to come. It's been a special privilege to be in one of these wonderful Oxford colleges and enjoy some lovely weather, see beautiful flowers, environments taken well. We have our team here from the African Academy of Science, from our hearts. Thank you so very much.
A big thank you to Judy. My job really here is just straightforward. I'm gonna beg you actually, to just put your phones down for just 1 minute. Give me the attention to just appreciate the team that has worked tirelessly over 5 months to get visas and flights and buses and answering all sorts of questions. So if I mention a name, give a big one major clap, okay? There are quite a few of them, so yeah, be easy on your palms. So I first of all want to start with the AFOX team, because I've worked with them over months and they really literally dream about their affiliates. And so first let me mention Adelina, who's been booking all your flights and everything. Person and has done all the Can I please mention Nomfundo, who's not here, but you've seen her fixing all the slides, organizing the and now completely unseen. His job is to be unseen. Norbert, who did all the computing work behind the scenes. Of course, let me appreciate the AAS team, who have just been incredible. We've worked with them from the beginning. Let me start with absolutely phenomenal Grace. My name and my face, and of course Judy, who works with Grace as well. And the communication team at AAS, led by Juliet, who's just been big claps for them, the entire team. And also at this point, let me start by appreciating the administration of the Oxford University, in particular our Vice Chancellor, who was here, opened the session. Please give us a big round of applause. And at the same time, let me appreciate the AAS directors, past and present, who are here, who've worked so hard. Barhanu and Nelson Toto, please, a big hand of them. Of the AAS people who've been absolutely phenomenal and have worked so hard to make this happen. Another person in AAS who specializes in being in the background and does tremendous work, Olivia Osula. Okay, having said that, please let me move on to the conference facilitation team.
1 second. We have to thank Anne McCain.
No. Thank you. The conference organizing team, who you haven't seen, but I've made sure the teas and coffees are there, your lunch is served, you know where to go after and where to register and all. Again, Nomfundo and Norbert from the AFOX team, a big hand. And this place, I'm just going to ask you to just speak. I mentioned the name and you just do one clap, okay? Because it's quite a few. Trevor, Jody, Tony, Paco, Mbali, Chinwenwe, Kiu, Theodora, all of them! So at this point, I have an incredible person to thank, who links all this together, puts it all together. together, literally the axis on which we all gain our support, the foundation on which we've all built our careers. Please, let's give an AFWORKS AAS affiliate hand of appreciation to Kevin Marsh. Really good food. And I also want to thank our panel of speakers, the Oxford academics who've interacted with us throughout, and our partners who are present: Cambridge Africa Royal Society, UKRI, the Oxford University Press, INASP, all of them who have been represented here and have managed to interact with us throughout the time. So a big round of applause to all the speakers and all our partners. To end with this, before I invite Professor Berano and Kevin to make final remarks as we close, I just want to end with this reflection that a friend of mine said that the story is told of the fish that was of the monkey that is picking fish out of the water and putting it aside. And when a person comes and asks the monkey, "What are you doing?" He says, "I am saving the fish from drowning." And it's important for us to contextualize the work that we're doing to make sure that it's useful, it's impactful. All the information we've been given today is only useful, and the last few days is only useful if it's actually making a positive impact in the communities that we live in. Notice I say positive impact because impact is not necessarily positive, yeah? So think about the work that you've done, think about all the resources that are available for you to do, and ask yourself why you're doing it, who you're doing it for, and is it going to make a positive change in the world? Thank you so very much to all of you, and if you will allow me, please let me invite the father of it all, Professor Berano Abegas, and Kevin will close for us.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and really look perhaps at the big picture and look forward. Yes, so you can see the future of the continent really depends on the young people. And in my opinion, I think more should be done. But the responsibility on your shoulders are immense. And there are a lot of initiatives of young persons, early career people emerging in the continent, which gives me really a great hope and a sense of really enormous optimism. And therefore, really, there is a need to work together, to synergize, and really aim at big goals and see how we can work to reach them. And the reason I really wanted to speak was really to salute and really pay tribute to all the people in the academy and the AFWORKS team who made it possible. I had my own dream of where the affiliates could be, and I must admit my dream were perhaps the goals were low. But the people who came over brought them to higher heights, bigger heights. And therefore, really, if this goes on in this kind of succession and commitment, I mean, the sky is the limit. And we may not imagine where those will reach us, but really it is the century of the continent, and let us make it happen. At the academy, I remember the day when Kevin walked in, and since then, it's not been the same. With the affiliates program, I wasn't sure where I was going. I think, you know, I hope you won't be embarrassed about this, but he got the ultimate prize, 100 million, and nearly gave half of it, not nearly gave nearly half of it to the affiliates program. And I think the other half is, in a way, through these, is also coming in the same way. And therefore, really, more than the funds that he gave from the prize that he won, is the time and effort that he has put into it, which is even more valuable. So really, I want to salute you, to thank you for what you have done. see the continent integrated. And I need to say this phrase sub-Saharan Africa is something we must work against. Don't use that phrase unless it is absolutely necessary. Because if you want to use it, then you have to say it and say, yes, it is necessary, it is appropriate. Like it would be, let's not say it anymore, but you want to mention it. Things like that. We need to work with the North African brothers and sisters, and I hope they feel the same way they want to work with us. And this continent will go very far if that is really taken as a strong message. So I want to end there, and I will be leaving. I won't be joining you for the dinner, and I just did not want to miss, by missing the dinner, such an opportunity to say thank you to you all. So thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Bahanu. And I don't want to say, because people have said things they shouldn't have said, and knows I don't like things being said. And I thought when she said there's someone at AFOX who's quiet and behind the scenes, that's when you were going to talk about me. But obviously that's not the case. I said at the, and I'm not going, this evening at dinner we'll say a few words and reflect on the day, so I really want to say very little. I want to reiterate all the thanks to everybody. I mean, I won't go through everybody by name again, but an enormous number of people have worked together in a way to make this happen. And all of you for being here and making this. We could have had any sort of arrangement, any sort of complicated meeting. It would not have worked had it not been for the people who made the meeting. So I want to thank all of you for the meeting. You are the meeting. I said at the beginning of the meeting that for me this was, it's almost a bit indulgent really to have said it, that for me it was like a special personal pleasure because it brought together two sides of my life which are very linked. They're linked, literally linked to everyone. We all work very close together. So the one thing I do want to say, not to name everybody but in repeating and Judith's thanks, but is to say I think sometimes in life, in fact mostly in life, one of the things often when I'm asked about people's careers and sort of planning careers and that, there are many, many things we should do, and there are many things we will try and do, but I think we always have to recognise the importance of luck in your life. And in my experience, luck has been a major influence on everything that's happened to me. And I'm not saying this to flatter, or it's simply, I feel extraordinarily lucky to have worked with two most amazing teams. I have to say, when I go to work in Nairobi, I feel like I'm so happy in the academy. It is, and that's because of Bahan. From the first time I went to the academy, I knew that's where it was home for me in Kenya. And the same in Oxford. When I'm in AFOX, honestly, I really think people must wonder what's going on because everyone else in the building just hears noise and laughter, and it's the most amazing group of people to work with. So I feel extraordinarily blessed. The only problem with working in two places at the same time is that no one believes you're at the other place. So whenever I'm in Oxford, they're always saying, you're never in Oxford, you're always in Nairobi. Whenever I'm in Nairobi, they say, you're never in Nairobi or in Oxford. Where are you really? Well, the answer is normally I'm on an aeroplane somewhere. Anyway, I'm not going to say any more, other than this is being beyond, we had high hopes of this meeting, but it's been beyond our wildest dreams. I think this has been just such a fantastic experience, and it's been a fantastic experience because of the organising team and because of all of you. So thanks so much. Looking forward to seeing you all at dinner this evening, and I think that's the end of the meeting. There's you have some housekeeping, I think.
Yes.
Yep, let's do the housekeeping, then we'll wrap up, and then we'll see each other at dinner.
Okay. Housekeeping is, I forgot to say a big thank you to the camera team. Thank you very much. I'm sure your headshots will look amazing. Thank you. And just a quick housekeeping. If you don't know how you're going back home, if you haven't spoken to Adelina yet, please do so. Because we've organized transport. For those of you who are leaving tomorrow to the places where we were buying tickets for, that is to the airport, please meet with Adelina so that she can kind of let you know what time your transport is leaving and so forth, okay? Please do so before dinner because she also needs some time to breathe and take some stock of her own day as soon as you can, so she can do that before coming back for dinner. All right? Oh, once the photos have all been, cleaned up and everything, we'll put them in the AFOX website. We'll also have them in the AS communication portal, and they will be able to share that with you. The photos as well as I'm sure some other people asked about presentations, all these things. We'll get consent from the speakers and we'll be able to share whatever we can, either at the AFOX website, at the AS website as well.
Yeah.
All good? And dress up for the dinner.